All right, guys, ready? All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Tiger Talk Show live here on Twitter Spaces and also on YouTube. Tonight is Conference Championship weekend, Clemson versus UNC in Charlotte. So let's get started and go to my partner in crime, the voice of Tiger Nation, Mr. Anthony Weeks. How are you tonight, Anthony?
Hey, how you doing, Jay? I hear Cliff's beside you. Is he joining you tonight?
Yeah, he's here.
I'm right here, man.
All right, Cliff. I ain't got to introduce you then. You're the man of the hour, Winning Edge Digital. Can you give us a little intro about Winning Edge Digital before I introduce the fanboys?
Yeah, man. So Winning Edge Digital is a company that produces websites for athletes, and what we do is we take an athlete, we build them a website, and then we also do graphics. So that's pretty much the short stick of what we do. You can go to webdesign.for-athletes.com, or you can go to winningedgedigital.com. So
I appreciate that, Cliff, and y'all make sure y'all check him out, man. He's about to take over Hayes Fawcett in the graphic design.
Amen.
I love his recruiting graphics. So, also before we get to the fanboys, I want to say the show is sponsored live from Arden's Burger and Grill, Silver Cloud Photography, Ride and Shine Detail, and Winning Edge Digital. That will be all our sponsor for the night. I'm going to introduce the fanboys and the fangirls. We got Banks from Georgia. We got Bug from Texas. We got Darth from Florida. Justin from Arkansas. Smokey from Tennessee. Matt from Texas. And Rachel from LSU. And Nurse is down in LSU. She's in the listeners right now. I don't know why she ain't in the speakers, but that's all our fanboys and fangirls. Jay, if you want to go ahead and tell us about what happened lately in Clemson Sports.
Sure, we'd be glad to. I just also, as far as Arden's Burger and Grill, get down here tonight. Get down here as soon as you can. They got the best wings in the land. You've got to try their double dip. Also, just want to go over Clemson Sports news. Clemson ladies basketball, Thursday versus Kansas State at the Paradise Jam, lost 76-38. Friday versus Arkansas, they lost 76-62. And Saturday versus Northern Arizona, won 80-62. Clemson is now 4-3. Lady Tigers return to action on Thursday, traveling to face Charleston Southern at 7 p.m. And Clemson ladies volleyball had their last game of the season, fell to Wake Forest to finish off the season 13-17, 4-14 in the ACC. Clemson's men's basketball losses to Iowa 74-71 on Friday night in the Emerald Coast Classic. Also then turned around on Saturday night and defeated California 67-59, moving the Tigers to 5-2 overall. Now, Ant, let's go on with your Clemson versus USC recap.
Yes, sir. This one right here was a hard one. I said I was going to be bittersweet about it, but I've got my notes and I'm ready to roll with it. So Clemson was looking to set a series record with its 8th in a row for South Carolina. And the Tigers were up 30-21 midway through the third period after Will Shipley's 11-yard burst to the end zone. That's when Wells, the James Madison transfer, broke behind the defense for a 72-yard scoring catch 2 plays later. After Clemson's 3-and-out, route removed the Gamecocks to the Tigers' 10 before Mitch Jeter connected for a 35-yard kick to go 10 of 10 on the season. Clemson had no answer after South Carolina took the lead. The Tigers managed only 15 yards on 3 series as DJ Uyunglele went a combined of 6 passing within an interception. Clemson got the ball back a final time with 2 minutes and 9 left on the clock, but Antonio Williams took a hard hit, fumbled the ball on the Carolina 49 on a punt return, and South Carolina's Nick recovered and took a knee to end the game. So Clemson lost at home and ended the 40-game home win streak 30-31 to rival South Carolina. And that's my recap, Jay.
All righty, appreciate it, Anthony. Also tonight we were supposed to have a recruiting limo. Some of our guys, I guess the limo missed a turn and had to take the long way around. So tonight we're just going to go ahead and go to our ACC Championship game breakdown, brought to you by Ride and Shine, Detail of Upstate South Carolina. Give Sean a call. He'll give you the best deal and do the best job for you. Tonight, as far as UNC goes, I'll go first, Anth. Points per game, UNC's average 37.1. Points allowed per game, 30.3. Total yards, 480.9. Passing yards, 320.9, compared to rushing yards, 160. Yards allowed, 442.7 yards allowed. Passing yards allowed, 273, while rushing yards was 169.7. North Carolina is coming off of two straight losses. First loss being to NC State, 30-27 in double overtime this past weekend. The previous week, they lost to Georgia Tech, 21-17. Before that, they had a 3-game win streak. Wake Forest, 36-34, UAV, 31-28, and Pitt, 42-24. This particular game, the over and under is 63.5 for the for the ACC championship game. The money line is plus 240 for North Carolina, and a spread of 7.5 going into the game. Anthony?
Yes, sir. Thanks for that, Jay. A few weeks ago, this looked like potentially a play-in game for the college football playoffs, but some costly losses by both teams appear to have ended any hopes the ACC had of making the national semifinal. Like Jay said, Carolina took 2 straight late in the season to Georgia Tech and rival NC State, while Clemson lost at Notre Dame at home and at home to unranked South Carolina. But there's still a conference championship on the line and a quality New Year's bowl game for whoever wins. The Tigers come into this game will be the 59th all-time meeting between Clemson and South Carolina. Tigers have a massive edge with a 38-19 and 1 record in the first 58 meetings. Clemson owns a 4-game winning streak over North Carolina. The Tigers have outscored the Tar Heels 175-130 along that span. And that's it, Jay.
All right. Now we're going to go to our 2 guys, the Tennessee dynamic duo, Carlito and Smokey. Let me get Carlito up here, Smokey, or are you going to be doing it tonight? Oh, I'm sorry. I have my mic off. Now let's go to Smokey and Carlito with the Tennessee Puff and Flame recap. Smokey, you doing it yourself tonight? I see Carlito's down there.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm in Tennessee with Lito, so...
Oh, great, man.
I started off the recap. We kind of sit side by side, but like you and Clifton today. But shout out to all the sponsors tonight, man. Appreciate everything.
Amen.
Shout out to the FanBoys, man. I know it was tough on my Clemson FanBoys, man. We took it a week early from our dear brother Charlie, Triple C's. So, yeah, Lito just got me a crazy reaction. Alabama is number 6 on the playoff. So, yeah. So, but back to the Tennessee game. We ended the season against Vanderbilt, and we ended the right way, I must say the least. We shut these boys out. It was 56-0. The game was never in doubt. Joe Milton was the starter today. And that's what everybody was kind of ready to see. Joe Milton is actually, he finished this night. He threw 1 touchdown, but our running game not going. And I think that we're in the 4th because Carlos is making, hey, Lito is really going crazy. So, no, USC is still number 4. But anyways, I'm sorry, y'all. We're going crazy about this selection show over here. But Jaden Wright finished the night with 160 yards rushing, and Dylan Sampson also. That's one of our super freshmen. He finished the night with 131 and 1 touchdown. My starting running back, Jabari Small, he had 79 yards on 11 carries and 2 touchdowns. So we actually kept the ball on the ground a lot. And Joe Milton finished the night with 147 yards. So yeah, everything looking good on the Tennessee front. Hopefully, these reactions that Lito making over here, hopefully Tennessee is getting that 4 or something. But a little recap on the basketball side too. The Tennessee, they went to the Battle of Atlantic Bahamas and they took care of business. They actually won against the number 3 ranked Kansas, 65-50, and that was Friday evening. And before that, they had a hardball game on Wednesday and they won 73-66. And I'm gonna turn it over to Lito because he got me excited thinking we about to get in this 4. So here we go. How y'all doing, everybody, man? I was just watching that college reaction show, man. It was kind of getting me excited, but I think that done pissed me off on a little bit. Other than that, man, Tennessee had a great week. It was amazing to see the Vols have a bounce back week. It was our first time seeing Joe Milton in full action, being a starter. We came out. The defense played well. Everybody was wondering how the defense was going to play, how they responded against that South Carolina game. They pitched a shutout on the road. It was great to see, 56-0. Joe Milton had an up and down game. He missed some open throws, but he did connect on some. But other than that, the run game was together. We had 3 running backs break over 50-yard runs in the game. So pleased with that, and waiting to see what bowl game we're gonna go to. But other than that, man, I'm gonna turn it back over to Jay and Cliff.
Thanks, man.
Hey, hold on,
Appreciate it.
before Jay and Cliff, before y'all go, I just have a little something I wanted to add in to Smokey and Carlito. Hey, y'all see the predictions on the bowl, right? Y'all see who y'all might match up against in the bowl game? Yeah, we might have to. I was telling Jay earlier, we might have to have a fanboy trip to that game.
Yeah, where is the Orange Bowl being played at? Is it in Florida or?
It's actually
Yeah.
in Miami, so Gmo will have to set that up for us.
Yeah, I would love that. Like, I wish I would love to buy the tickets if we had a different quarterback, but we'll get into that later. So
Hey,
Jay,
now, let's don't bash that
back over to
quarterback.
y'all.
Didn't have it on. All right, guys. Well, we're going to bring in real quick Mr. Donnie Rusin of Arden's Burger and Grill, one of our sponsors. Donnie, come on in here and talk to us. Oh, you're good right here. Yeah, get in right here between us.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about
What's going on,
the.
everybody?
What's up?
Doing great. Tell us a little bit about the menu.
What's happening?
Y'all doing all right tonight?
Yes, sir.
All
Hey,
right.
Donnie, tell him. Hey, Donnie, tell him about that spicy burger I ate a couple weeks ago.
Korean.
The Korean Soul Burger. That right there is the hottest burger that we've got, and I think Anthony, he can vouch for that. It is pretty spicy. It just keeps giving and giving.
Gives to you the next day, too. But it's great flavor. It's the best flavored burger I've ever had. It'll light you up, though.
Well, thank you. I just want to say hey to everybody, and I appreciate y'all coming out tonight and everything. I appreciate what y'all do, and but if you want good food, you need to come here.
Gotta
Amen.
Come to South Carolina. Gotta come to Clemson.
That's it.
And they also got one in Anderson, too.
Yep.
Yes, sir. We sure do. And the double dip chicken wings, right?
That's right. I got
Cliff is eating some right now on there, Anthony. He's
Check
making
out
you
the
look
YouTube.
sick, man.
I got you
YouTube
right.
channel, he's eating them, Anthony. He's eating the double dip wings.
Right now, boy. They're so good.
What flavor?
Oh, they just double dip.
He does the double dip, and he does the sweet chili on the
Sweet
side.
chili, man. Oh my lord, it's so good.
Boog's getting hungry now. I see him flash out.
Make sure next time I'm in South Carolina, you get an 18 and a large Diet Coke for me, and I'm good for the night.
There you
Yes,
go.
sir. Well, the diet ain't gonna help you too much. You need to get some of that Southern sweet tea we got.
There you go.
That's what you need.
All right.
We appreciate you, Mr. Johnny. Thank you for all your contributions, man, here at the FanBoys. On behalf of my fellow fanboys and fangirls, I'd just like to say thank you.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
You're welcome now. Now my name is Donnie.
Yes, Donnie.
Man, I said Johnny.
Well, I used to remember a bunch of them little Johnny jokes, but
Texas, we don't got double dip wings, so as soon as you said that, my ears perked up.
Oh,
man.
you got to try them, man.
You gotta try them.
Hey, check out the YouTube channel.
Oh, man, don't do them that way. Hey,
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
hey, and I appreciated that hamburger steak and fries to it I had earlier. So, you know, we try it all when we're here. Exactly.
And then they had some of them homemade meatballs we do.
Yeah, homemade meatballs. They have a chili dog with mac and cheese on it, man. You talking something that's good? Golly.
Good meatballs.
What did they have that again?
Thank y'all.
You're making me hungry.
Hey, great sponsor here, Arden's Burger and Grill. If you're in Central South Carolina, definitely come check them out. And they're also in Anderson, South Carolina. We appreciate Donnie and Angie and their family bringing us here. And also, they was nice enough to allow me to come volunteer during Thanksgiving as a fanboy to come give to the community. They offered free meals to the community, something that a lot of people wouldn't do. They did it free. They delivered over how many?
We did over 300 meals.
Over-
Delivered almost 200.
Over 300 meals done, 200 of them delivered to the community. So that is a great thing that they do. And I was a part of 150 of them. I do know that much. All right, guys, let's go to Bank on It. And tonight's a special Bank on It. We got Rachel as a special guest on Bank on It as we got Georgia versus LSU. Let's go. Bank, Rachel, I don't know how y'all got, who's going to start, so we'll just turn it over to you.
She can go first.
I was about to say, Bank's probably gonna let me go first. LSU coming off of a rough loss to Texas A&M. A very, very bad loss. We looked absolutely terrible. We never left the dinner table from Thanksgiving. We're still sitting at it. But nonetheless, to recap a little bit, trenches got dominated, especially defensive line. Couldn't stop the run game. And we on offense could not get anything going. I did like John Emery. He looked a lot better this week. Didn't turn over the ball, which is key. But altogether, Jay Daniels had a rough game. He had a fumble lost that turned into a touchdown. You know, key things that just can't happen. And especially going into this Georgia game, the SEC championship, we need to be dominant in the trenches. We've got to stop their run game. We've definitely got to stop their two tight ends. They got two very dangerous tight ends that just can catch the ball, block, can just do about anything. They're athletes, really. Stetson Bennett is a very good quarterback. You got to keep him in the pocket, contain him, don't let him get scrambled. That's where I think Harold Perkins will come in on the defensive side for LSU. I'm hoping to see him shine a little bit brighter than he did this past weekend. Jay Daniels, I think they released a statement on him. I think Brian Kelly kind of gave us an update, but I didn't see it. But he did return to the game in Texas A&M. It doesn't seem to be an ankle sprain or a high ankle sprain at least, so hopefully he'll be good to go Saturday. Defensive-wise, our defensive line has got to be better. They've got to get a push, and we can't let Georgia's offensive line dominate us like Texas A&M's line did. So looking for those key positions to step up and play a little bit better than last week, and hopefully stay in the game against Georgia, and possibly, very possibly, slight chance that we get a dub. But all in all, I'm happy with the season. Definitely went better than I expected, especially year one under Brian Kelly, new coach's staff. Lots of transfers coming in. Can't be sad about it. So I will take it, and I can't wait for Saturday.
Nice.
Let you go, Bank.
So I feel like a whole different attitude on our side, considering this might be a receipt game for us, considering what happened about 3 years ago on that same field. There's some players in that locker room who remember what happened 3 years ago on that same field in this same game, and the embarrassment that happened in this game on that same field against this same team. Our seniors definitely remember that ass whooping we took, excuse my language, but they definitely remember that butt whipping Joe Burrow gave them. I'm sure Kirby Smart remembers that game. Kenny McIntosh, a senior, remembers that game. So some things are taken personal. Some statements need to be made. Some legs need to get back. But talking football, I will say we faced Brian Kelly a few times before at Notre Dame, and I looked at some stats earlier. When he had Brendan Wimbush and when he had Ian Book, and then now with Jaden Daniels, there's a similar trend. His quarterbacks run the ball a lot. They're always one of his leading rushers, so that tells me his tendencies have not changed despite being at LSU from Notre Dame. So I expect, even with if his ankle's not good enough to run, they're in trouble, healthy or not. But if he has a bum ankle and he's limited on his mobility, that is very, very, very bad for them, considering how much pressure we can put on him. And he holds the ball too long anyway at times. That's very problematic for them. And on the flip side, we've been running the ball a lot better since the beginning of the year, because we could not run the ball on anybody at the beginning of the year. But over the past month, specifically, I want to say over the past few games, we've been averaging over 200 yards rushing over the past few games. And Kenny McIntosh is finally healthy, and he showed that against Georgia Tech last week, because he had over 170, 180 yards from scrimmage. He almost had 100-yard receiving and 100-yard rushing. So he's a threat in the air and on the ground. So Harold Perkins, I talked about him last week. He ain't going to be a free rusher all night. So he's going to have to get used to playing against 12 personnel and getting a chip block from time to time from Darnell Washington. He's going to have to deal with 12 personnel from a spread set. He might have to play in space and cover. He's not just going to rush the passer all night. And A&M did a great job running at him. That's how you neutralize a great pass rusher. You just run at him and make him uncomfortable. Because sometimes, not saying this is the case with him, but you can't just dip and bend and go for a quarterback. You have to take on blocks and chips and people coming downhill and not let you just get a rush uphill. So it'll be a physical game, a very physical game, a very nasty game, a trench game in my opinion.
Yep.
Can they hold up? I don't know. I don't know what their depth looks like, but they'll be tested in the second half whenever we start playing bully ball, which I personally don't like when we start doing that, but I have to assume that will happen. Assuming we'll be up by a couple scores, and Kirby likes to just shorten the game and take the air off the ball and pretty much put a stranglehold on the opposing team and take the life out of them. But first half, since it's a big game, a postseason game, if I know Todd Monken in big games, and like last year in the postseason, he opens it up a little bit more, just like he did against Oregon, Tennessee, Florida, South Carolina this year in bigger games. So that's what I expect a lot. The whole playbook will be open, I would hope. That's all I got for now.
Yes, sir. Hey, can I add a little context to this game?
Go ahead.
Bank and Rachel, if y'all don't mind. Yeah, I'm looking right now. It says, there's a little notes I gathered just now, just while I was talking. It says Georgia has been clicking on all fronts this year, ranking 8th best in total defense, 488.8 yards a game, and 4th best in total defense, only giving up 270.7 yards allowed per game. On the other side of the ball, LSU is posting 32.5 points per contest, 39th ranked. It ranks 33rd in the FBS on defense, only giving up 21.5 points per game. And what I'm seeing here is, the last Tiger Bulldogs contest in 2019, SEC title game. That's where Banks said, they want a revenge factor. It says LSU is 4-0 since 2009 against Georgia. Is that correct?
That's incorrect. We beat them when they had Zach Bentenberger, OBJ, and Jarvis Landry. Aaron Murray was my quarterback. The game was in the 40s. We beat them in Athens, so that statement's incorrect.
Okay.
2013.
I don't know what ATS means. It just says ATS
against the spread.
Okay, so it says the over is 3-1 across the last 4 meetings. So I guess they didn't cover the spread in one of those meetings.
They lost.
Yes, sir. And y'all are coming in at 17.5-point favorites. Am I right?
Yep, we're looking at 17-5 right now.
All right. Yeah. I just want to know, before I turn it over to Jay or whoever's next, I just want to know what's a key matchup
that you're looking at in this game for y'all to win, Bank? Who are you looking at on your offensive or defensive side of the ball to win a matchup? What matchup are you looking at?
I'll give you two. The one I always give. Who's stopping Jalen Carter, first of all? Because I've seen Arkansas get pressure on them, and them was doing whatever they did, and nobody has been able to block Jalen Carter. And when Jalen Carter's on his game, my linebackers are flowing in there fast, and when we blitz them up the middle with Jalen Carter in front of them, it's very problematic for anybody in the country. So that's the first problem they're going to deal with, because everybody has to deal with that problem. On the flip side, like I said with Harold Perkins earlier, I'm going to bring up the Oregon game because they got two dynamic, outstanding linebackers with Sewell and Flo. The question I posed to them was, how are they in space as far as covering, tackling in space and whatnot? Because it's one thing going north and south as a linebacker and filling holes and rushing the passer. It's another thing when you got to cover tight ends and get off blocks in space, because we will go to a formation, we will pin and pull, which means we will pin our tight ends inside and pull linemen, and you got a 6'8", 270-pound tight end on top of a left tackle or a right tackle on top of another tight end and another pulling guard potentially. How are you going to deal with that? On top of having to be in a situation where we can go to a formation and have it tight, go in the same formation and go empty and put you at a disadvantage. Well, from a personnel standpoint, how are they going to act to that?
Well, I like that, Bank, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna get Rachel's side, get her matchup, who she thinks needs to win for them to potentially win this game in Atlanta. So Rachel, what matchup are you looking for in this game to win?
I don't know if it's particularly matchups. It's, we got to get a running game going, and then just in general, Jaden Daniels, like Banks said, sometimes he holds onto the ball too long. He needs to be able to make his reads, but I will kind of point on what Banks said with Jalen Carter. LSU was able to limit Will Anderson a lot. I mean, we'll probably have the same scheme for him, maybe double him up. It's going to be tough because that entire defensive line is strong and they're good. But we were able to limit Will Anderson to be very, limit. I mean, he only had, I think, one sack maybe and only had 2 tackles or something like that. So, but when it comes to Harold Perkins, you worry about what other linebacker do we have. Micah Baskerville is one very underrated linebacker that people don't really see because I think he gets overshadowed by Harold Perkins. Micah Baskerville is a senior. He was on the 2019 team. He never really saw the playing field up until this point. It never really showed for him in practice, but on the field, he's just got a natural instinct when it comes to game time. So keep an eye out for his name. But other than that, I think our wide receivers being tough against their defensive backs, not dropping balls. That's about it. I mean, we just gotta play. We gotta play our game. Go out there. We got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Rachel. Bank, you got something else?
Yeah, just 2 points in response to that, because one, they play 2 different positions, so you can't game plan Jalen like you do Will Anderson, because one's an edge rusher, one's an interior D lineman. So that's the first part, and the second part is Alabama fans have an issue of their defensive coordinator dropping Will Anderson in the coverage too much, if you should even do that at all. So I don't know how often he was in coverage or how often he rushed the passer, but I do know with him, I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just adding context, like with him, even if you do limit him in tackles or sacks, he could still affect the quarterback even without having the number in the stat sheet. Just want to point that out there, but I would have to go back and see just how well y'all did against him, but you can't game plan for an edge rusher the same way you do an interior defensive lineman because they play two totally different positions.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bank.
All right, guys. I need Justin from Arkansas and Matt from A&M to go to the group chat for me, if you wouldn't read. We're going to go to Boog, our man, Boog and Bass, which Bass is not here this week, but he'll be back hopefully soon. Boog, give us the Texas two-step.
Hey man, how you guys doing today? I'm excited. My team finished a great regular season. Your 2023 Longhorns finished with an 8-4 record. All 4 losses came by a combined 23 points. Well, actually 22 points. So a little bit less than what Ohio State lost to Michigan by, but that's neither here nor there. We had a tough game versus the Baylor Bears. The Longhorns were ranked number 23. We were led by a dominant Russian attack, Bijan Robinson, and quite possibly his last game in a Longhorn uniform. He had an amazing game. I think he rushed for 180. Find it. 179. I'm sorry. I said 180. 179. 2 touchdowns. He averaged 6 yards to the attempt. That was his 9th 100-yard rushing game this season. He leads the Big 12 in rushing and in touchdowns. The next closest running back in the Big 12 is 200 yards away. So I'm prepared for him to quite possibly win the Doak Walker Award. Easily the Big 12 Player of the Year. Also on defense, we were led by Jalen Ford, who also had another masterful game. 2 interceptions, 10 tackles. Again, another player I expect to be all-conference, named all-conference at the position at linebacker. So that would be a clean sweep for me, man. Going from 5-7, year 2 of rebuild, maintaining. There was some news in the portal this week about Xavier Worthy not being happy. He scrubbed Texas from his Instagram account, which caused Longhorn Nation to kind of go in a frenzy. But as of today, he's kind of reaffirmed his commitment to Texas, reposted some Texas, him in Texas gear and, quoting the calm before the storm. So I'm guessing Xavier Worthy's locked up. He's ready to go. Expect him back. Also, today was Happy Portal Day. We had 4 guys enter the portal, most notably 4-star safety J.D. Coffey. But a lot of Texas fans saw the writing on the wall. I mean, when you have a true sophomore walk-on in Michael Taffy, who got immense playing time this year. I believe he started a couple of games down there and definitely played a lot in the TCU and Baylor games. But when you have situations like this, spots open up, and it's been exciting to see. Troy Amir, another guy, Herman guy, just couldn't stay healthy. In his 3 years on campus, I don't think he's had any significant game time. I believe he tore his ACL in his left knee and his right knee. So guys like that, man, we kind of saw it coming, writing on the wall. You want to get your program better, you got to get competition at those spots. So overall, as a Texas fan, we're excited. Looking forward to playing in the bowl game. Not going to be in the Big 12 championship as my second favorite team, the Kansas Jayhawks, did not get the job done. But again, 8-4 is not a bad outlook. 4 losses by less than 21, 22 points. Cause to be excited for next year. So that'll be it for me and Jay Bass. Hook 'em.
All right, Boog, we do appreciate it. And due to our limos, both of our guys tonight, I don't know if we're having some technical difficulties. One of them's having issues getting in, so we're going to we're going to go to a special Darth on Florida, the first of many. Darth, tell us a little bit about Florida.
First off, I'd like to thank all the sponsors and what they do for the FanBoys. So, all right, so here we go. So, overall, we went kind of with the floor. The expectations that I had for the season was, my expectations were this season, 7-5, 8-4, 4, but I also expected a possibility of 6-6. I like what I've seen out of the running backs this year in terms of Montreal Johnson and Trevor Etienne. I think those two are really good backs to build off of going forward. I like what I've seen out of the receivers this year in Ricky Pearsall and Xavier Henderson and Justin Shorter, although Justin Shorter might go pro after this year. But I'm confident with this class that we're bringing in terms of really, really key weapons in Eugene Wilson and Aiden Mizell and Andy Jean. They're all blazing fast at wide receiver and dynamic at wide receiver. But overall, I think we went fairly well in terms of reasonable expectations. Although we did have inconsistencies at quarterback position that I think cost us overall this year. But I'm confident with the class we're bringing in terms of the defense, in terms of defensive line depth that we're bringing in, receiver depth, and DB depth, which is something we've struggled at really since losing the 2019 receiving class in Van Jefferson, Trayvon Grimes, and that whole group. So overall, I'm fairly confident going forward with this class and what we're bringing forward.
All right, well, appreciate it, Darth, and we're going to go to our next one, which is Matt Foster with a little bit of A&M. Tell us a little bit about A&M, Matt.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get unmuted. Basically, obviously we have had a very rough season. 5-7 was nowhere near anything anybody thought we were going to be. A lot of the fan base was thinking 10-2, whatever. I personally thought, because I knew we had a lot of young guys coming in, I was like, 8-4 probably again this year. But obviously that did not happen. We've had a lot of injuries, a lot of freshmen playing, a lot of just unknowns that you never can really plan for a season. You just don't expect to have a lot of injuries. I will say we ended on a high note, being a top 5 team in LSU, great team. I did not expect that to happen at all. It just kind of seemed like all the freshmen came together and just played their games of their lives and just went out there and played up to their potential that we knew that they had the whole time, and finally maybe have got the system down or understood how to play Division I.
Did we lose speaker with Matt?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Matt, you there?
Matt, you there?
Matt, if you're saying something, your mic is muted.
Yeah, let's move forward.
All right, let's go ahead. Justin, give us a quick Arkansas update.
Right now, we got a bunch of players that came out of the portal. Oh, let me backtrack. I want to say thanks to the sponsor and everything that you're doing. I hope that what we're doing here makes you happy and you want to do more for us. But back to Arkansas, it's been a pretty up and down, roller coaster, disappointing, kind of understanding why season. I've gotten past it. I've talked about it plenty of times. Injuries. Right now, I'm kind of concerned with all the transfers that we have going out. I mean, the best that came out right now is Miles Slusher, and then we lost Malik Hornsby, which I kind of figured that would happen because he tried to transfer out last year. But we're going to have to reload, and the recruiting class that we have coming in is pretty good as well. Right now, I just want to see what bowl game we're going to be in. We're 6-6. Disappointing losses in the season. It happened. And I'm just getting past it. So I looked at a couple of old projections a couple of times, and for the most part, the consensus is either the Liberty Bowl or the Texas Bowl, one of those two, playing a Big 12 team or whatnot, and it has us against either Oklahoma or Oklahoma State. So that's who I'm pretty
atmosphere that we're going to be playing against in our bowl game this year. So I'm looking forward to it, and that's what I got in Arkansas.
Hey, Justin, we appreciate that. I'm sorry, Jay, I had to interrupt, but I got a little tidbit. I got a message from Victory Atkins. He had to work tonight. He tried to message us earlier, but Jay was on a different account. So he'll be joining us for the recruiting summit. So I just wanted to add that in there. If y'all can go ahead and mark him down for the recruiting summit next week.
Actually, that's this weekend, but I appreciate you doing that for me. Thanks for giving us the update.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead and finish up what you was going to do, Matt, and then we'll go to Prime real quick.
What was heard? I'll just read through it. Okay, I'll just go over it. It's fine. Went 5-7 this year. Did not have the year any A&M fans thought we were going to have. I don't think anybody would have thought we were going to go 5-7 this year. But that's what happens when you have one of the, if not the youngest team in the country. I think we have 16 upperclassmen, something like that, somewhere around there, juniors, seniors. I will say I'm very proud of all of the freshman kids that we had that did play. I think a lot of them actually played well and put up some good numbers for freshmen coming in and playing in the SEC. I wish we would have started our freshman quarterback a lot earlier. I was banging the table. I didn't understand why he was not playing, but, I'm not the coach. I can't make that decision for him. The one thing I will say is that I'm very happy to see that they all put it together at the very end of the season when we played LSU. Great team, great win. Playmakers came back. A-Chain looked great. I'm sure he'll be a great pro someday, or next year. I'm sure he'll get drafted pretty well. I mean, his stat line wasn't crazy. 38 carries for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. If you would have told me he had that stat line going in the LSU game, I would have told you were crazy. So, I guess ending on high note's nice. Recruiting class is probably going to be pretty small for the most part. Hoping to get some guys back. Hoping to keep the guys that we have that are recruiting, because we all know how that goes. So, there you go.
All right, appreciate it, Matt. We'll go to Prime, and then we'll go to our key matchups of the game.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just wanted to, first of all, thank the sponsors. Really excited about where this is going to go. The group of people that are sitting and representing their team, talking about their team, just really hear the passion and kind of the reason why we love our team, and whether it was a disappointing season or a good season in my standpoint. I still love my team. I'm going to stick by my team. I'll never enter the transfer portal, and just happy. Just happy to be a part of this. And just a little quick thing on Florida State. Really, really excited about where this team is going. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings that Jordan Travis is coming back. Trey Benson's coming back. Jared Verse might be coming back. Both of our linebackers are coming back. So it's just really cool to see that they're not happy with just a 9-3, maybe 10-3 season. I feel like they think this is a special group, and that we can really do something special this year. Starting off the season with 4 straight wins and 3 straight losses, and then ending the year on a 5-game winning streak. We're rushing for 200+ yards in the last 7 games of the year, which is a pretty fantastic stat to have as your team is really developing trenches and on the offensive defensive side of the ball, which we haven't had in a really long time at Florida State. And then the recruiting class coming in, again, we've proven that Mike Norvell and staff have a very good eye for transfer kids, and really excited to see some of the kids he's going to pull this year, just because this is going to be a big transfer or big portal class. Not for us, but just overall, there's going to be a ton of players hitting the portal, and just exciting year. Wish we could have played better against NC State and about 3 minutes in the Clemson game, but feel confident going into 2023 and the pieces that we have coming back and the pieces that we're going to bring in. Thank you for letting me be a part of this and talk about my Knowles.
All right. Now, I want to give a real quick 1 minute for Keon to say hello and what he wrote. Real quick, Anthony, if you don't mind, I'm going to let Keon have a quick minute to say what he thinks about Georgia.
shout outs to the sponsors that had to come out there and give me a play. But I do think we have a lot of great matchups coming up this weekend. I do think everybody who sees themselves merging into that playoff spot might be the best time to just lock in. Hopefully everybody's teams will lock in, especially our Bulldogs. That's what I'm looking forward to. Man, Jalen Carter, man, I'm going to get emotional. I gotta see this guy ball out. We have probably about 8 guys that are most likely going to be gone after this year. So I'm very excited to see it. Just like Mike said, this is it's our get back game. That's just really what it is. We getting our get back. We're gonna walk in playing the James Brown big payback because that's what it is. But I'm really excited for this weekend. Shout outs to everybody who's in here. Shout outs to Jay. And I'm definitely pulling up the soccer. I need to get a play. My guy Ant made it seem like that definitely was delectable. So I gotta get to it. Shout outs to our sponsors yet again. Go Dogs.
Yes, sir, Keon, man. You definitely got to try the wings. And I tried the burgers the last time I was there. And, man, that was...
If they got lemon pepper steppers, I'm now.
I did not know you could double dip wings, bro. I'm telling you, I've been in all. Maybe you could send something in the mail just for me, man. Overnight them bad boys.
Hey, I wanted to backtrack real quick and say something to Prime. Hey, Prime, I know coming in, everybody was kind of wondering what Mike Norville was going to do, and I think he did great this season. You're finishing the season. I know you got a bowl game to go, but you're finishing the season number 13, man. That's great for recruiting. That's great for the ACC. I'm glad to see y'all make y'all win back.
Anthony, you there?
Did y'all not hear that?
I heard most of it.
I heard most of it.
It was just muffled. That's all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're
Go
good.
ahead, Jack.
All right, now we're on to the key matchups of the game. Me and Anthony are going to play back and forth against each other. First, we'll go with North Carolina, and I'll be doing that. First of all, my key to the game, Drake May, 3,847 yards passing, 320 yards per game, 67% completion, 35 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, 161 carries for 629 yards and 6 touchdowns. Drake May has to have a big game along with Elijah Green, running back, 93 carries for 443 yards. That's my offensive players of the game. Tell me who you got, Anth, on offense.
Yes, sir. Jay, I'm going to have to go with the man. If the man would have ran last week, if they would have kept running in the fourth quarter, we win that game, no problem. They need to ride Will Shipley the rest of the season with DJ's inconsistency. I'm going to go with Will Shipley with 186 attempts, 1,090 yards, 14 touchdowns, and averaging 6 yards a carry. He was averaging 9 yards a carry, entered the fourth quarter, and only got 2 carries last week. So I said we need to ride Will Shipley to the ACC championship title.
All right. Well, when it comes to defense, to stop old Will Shipley, Noah Taylor, 22 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 3.5 sacks, along with his buddy Cedric Gray, 90 tackles, 6 tackles per loss, 1 sack, 2 interceptions, and 4 pass deflects. Those 2 are going to be your key North Carolina, and don't forget Storm Duck, 28 tackles and 3 interceptions and 5 pass deflects. So North Carolina's defense is going to have to be on to stop this potent Clemson offense whenever they are rolling.
Yes, sir. So we're on the defensive side of the ball. I'm definitely going to have to go with the man, Jeremiah Trotter. Jeremiah Trotter has got 37 solo, 34 assists, 71 tackles for loss. I think I'm reading that right. 2.5 sacks, 18 sack yards, 2 interceptions. I'm going with Jeremiah Trotter, the linebacker, player of the game, along with Barrett Carter. If Barrett Carter and Jeremiah Trotter's on, I feel like we can shut down
UNC. Also, I want to go with another. I know they're going to be passing a lot, so I'm going to go with my man Nate Wiggins at corner. If Nate Wiggins is a lockdown corner this week, I think we can, kind of slow down. I don't think we're going to stop because on the other side of our corners, I don't really trust them too much. So I think if we can shut down part of their pass, I think we'll be all right. But it all starts and ends with Jeremiah Trotter and Nate Wiggins.
All right, before we go to bet on Boog, I just want to throw this to Boog. Clemson betting splits. Clemson is 6-6 against the spread this year. For the season, Clemson is 3-5 at 7.5 point or better favorites. Out of 12 Clemson games so far this season, 7 have hit the over. North Carolina betting splits against the spread. North Carolina is 5-6-1 this year. North Carolina has seen 6 of its 12 games hit the over. Now it's time for the man of the hour. Ladies, green power, too hot to trot, too sweet to be sour. It's Boog. Bet on Boog.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight, man? Glad to be here again. Thank you to the sponsors. Shout out to everybody in here, your respective teams. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here, man. College football is coming down to the nitty gritty. I know I've had a great season, man. I wish I could share my, total profits, but I'm coming off my hottest weekend, man. Last week, I really hit it home. I feel like I finally got a good grasp on each and every one of you guys' team. And, I'm excited. We're back for Conference Championship week, so let's get it. Last week, kind of short on the picks, man, but again, I gave you Ole Miss minus 2.5. Ole Miss came out and laid an egg, man. They just didn't look ready. Ended up giving the game up to Mississippi State, but that was a miss. I gave you South Carolina plus 14 versus Clemson. Now, I did say Clemson would win. I thought it would be a close game. I thought DJ would be able to pull it out, but we saw that he was not. And South Carolina with the plus 14. See, that's the good things, ladies and gentlemen. When you take the points, you don't got to be all the way right. You just got to be right enough. I can't you feel me on that one. So South Carolina plus 14, I gave you that one. Texas minus 7 or the money line minus 300, I gave you guys that, and that was also a success. I gave you Florida plus 9.5, which they did not win the game, but they did keep it close. So that was another win. Georgia let me down. High spread 35.5. I know I thought the game would be over by halftime. Definitely was not. It was a close game. So that's my second loss of the week, but I did bounce back with Tennessee versus Vanderbilt. Smokey, you can attest to this. I told the people Joe Milton would come out and look awesome, and that he did. So last week, man, I finished the week with 4-2. Good week for me. So this week we're looking to bounce back. I'm going to start off with my first play of the day. I'm going to keep this short and sweet, man. My alma mater, the North Texas Mean Green, going up for the Conference USA Championship against University of Texas, San Antonio. They're 10-2 on the season, led by Frank Harris. Immense passing game here at UTSA, man. The quarterback has thrown for 3,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. Frank Harris, man, look for him to have a big game, number 0. Right now, the spread is UTSA minus 8.5. I'm going to go with UTSA to cover versus my North Texas Mean Green. Anybody want to, Ant, what you thinking? You know something about USA ball?
No, sir.
Bet on Boog.
Actually, I'll flip you on that one. I'll take UNT, University of North Texas, our Scrappy Eagles. Shout outs to all the Scrappy Eagles. You know what I mean?
Hey, Keon, as an alumni now, both of them, man, I can't believe I'm betting against them, but
I can't believe you're doing it either.
Hey, I'm going to take Scrappy to get shot down by those road runners, man. They Scrappy. Next game on my list, I'm going to keep going right down the order. We got a ranked matchup, man. Number 11, Utah, led by former Longhorn Cam Rising, man. Jaquindon Jackson in that backfield, man. Shout out to JQJ, man. But they're going up against a tough USC team, 11-1 on the season. Right now, the over-under is 67. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. USC minus 3. You can book it, ladies and gentlemen. I am confident this is my max play of the week. The athletes USC got, I think they're going to be a tad bit better than the athletes Utah has. This Utah team lost to Florida week 1, and I just haven't got that bad taste out my mouth. So I'm going with Caleb Williams, the painted nails. Matter of fact, I might paint my nails this week, bang.
Yes, sir, Mr. Boog. Mr. Boog, I got USC big this week. I got them 10.5 or more to win the game.
Oh yeah, you talking alternate spread, man. You can get that. That's at least plus 280 odds, ladies and gentlemen. You can bet on Boog this week. USC's gonna get it done.
Not so fast, Boog. Give me the Utes. Give me the Utes. I'm telling you right now, the Utes done beat them once. They're going to beat them again. I'm telling you right now, give me the Utes.
All right. We course so, man. You're going to learn. You're going to learn this weekend. My next game, man, this one's dear to my heart. Big 12 championship. Where my Longhorns should be, but we didn't quite deserve it this year. But it's going to be a great matchup, man. We got Kansas State, 9-3 on the season, number 10 in the country, man, going up against undefeated TCU. Everybody wants TCU to lose. Max Duggan, this guy has been just, man, you want to talk about tough. You want to talk about giving me your all for your team, man. This dude refused to come off the field. Started the year as not QB1, not QB2, but QB3. It's Colorado, man. Chad Morris, Sam Jackson both got snaps in that game while Mr. Duggan, kind of got healthy, sat on the bench, observed the team. And it inspired him this year to go for 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3,000 yards passing on the year, averaging 9 yards an attempt. I'm going with TCU to win big in this game. The spread's minus 2.5 over under 62. I think this is going to be TCU in the route. They're going to show why they're one of the top 4 teams in the country. Quentin Johnson, man, 5 touchdowns on the year, 764 yards, 6'5" target. He's going to be a big play matchup. Look for him to have a great game. I'm going with TCU minus 3.
Yeah, I got TCU, but I got TCU's. This is their last win of the year. I think this is their last win of the year. I don't think they will get another win, even if they do make it to the playoffs. I think they get embarrassed, but I think they'll win this game all right.
Just don't disrespect my conference like that, man. Not in the Big 12, man. No, sir.
Not so fast, you two. Hey, Cliff, you know what? Give me the purple people eaters. Give me the guys in purple.
I think they're both purple.
Give me the guys in gray.
I think they're both gray.
Well, just give me one of them guys. Give me somebody in purple. Give me the Horned Frogs.
That's a good observation right there, man. I didn't even notice that these two are very similar in their color scheme. Sorry, man. Got a little cough attack here, but my next game moving along, we have, this one might surprise you, man, but Detroit Trojans going up against Coastal Carolina Chanticleers, man. I've been practicing that one all day. The Chanticleers, 9-2 on the season. Big injury news, man. They lost their quarterback Grayson McCall a couple weeks ago. New quarterback by name of Jerry Guess. Not quite as efficient against JMU. Only had 10 completions, 43% completion rate, only 99 yards to a pick, and was also sacked 4 times. Ladies and gentlemen, this Detroit team, man. A lot of you might not be familiar with them, but they're led by a strong running attack. Mr. Kamani Vidal. Last game versus Arkansas, man. He's ran for 200 yards in back-to-back games. Yes, get that right, ladies and gentlemen. 200 yards, back-to-back games. Went for 208 versus Arkansas State and versus University of Louisiana Monroe, 242 yards, 6 total touchdowns. I'm going with Detroit Trojans in this game. The spread right now is Detroit minus 8.5. I do think they cover this number.
Hey, Doug, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think there's just too much things off the field this week for Coastal Carolina. They got all kinds of belief and everything on campus, investigating the student death that happened. So I think Troy, with all the distractions, Coastal Carolina is not going to be able to focus on the game with one of their own dying on campus and nobody knowing who did it. So I'm gonna take Troy in this one.
You know something, Cliff? Do you remember there was a cartoon a while back? Do you remember that one?
No, I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
It was called Rockadoodle. Remember that? Had the guy that sing like Elvis? He was named Chanticleer. So give me Chanticleer. Coastal Carolina by 7, Boog.
Oh, yeah. Crazy. I like that pick, man, but I'm sorry. Again, Troy just, we'll see how that one shakes out. My next one, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big game, man. I've had this on my mind, on my heart, a long time, man. I'm not going to wait around. We got a big one, the doozy, the SEC Championship. The SEC Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're at that time of year. We got LSU number 14 in the country, coming off a loss to Texas A&M, which definitely left a bad taste in my mouth. Did not see that one coming. We got the Georgia Bulldogs, currently ranked number 1. They're led by Steady Eddie, Stetson Bennett, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 3,000 yards passing on the year. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Kenny McIntosh, 654 yards rushing. They also have another back.
It's a great movie.
Mr. Dejan Edwards.
My daughter's watched that a billion
600
times.
yards on a year. Both of these guys have over 7 touchdowns, and they have a third back.
He's got a rooster, sings like Elvis.
Also has 400 yards on the year. That's 1,600 yards rushing.
Hey,
His team couldn't
y'all
stop
can talk loud if you want.
Only
Yeah,
Texas
you ain't got to
A&M
whisper.
running game hadn't been impressive all year. Spread right now is minus
Hey, I went
17.5.
old school on that
If
movie.
you're lucky like me, you found you this bet early. I got it at 12.5. Thank you, Nurse Court, for holding.
My daughter's watched that a billion times.
But I'm looking to collect this week. This is also
Yeah.
a bet on
The rooster, it's got a bunch of the famous character voices, and the rooster was Glenn Campbell. He did Rockadoodle.
In the first half bet, Georgia anyway, Georgia money line. It's not going to be close. LSU, you had a great season again. Brian Kelly defeated all odds after week 1 in the Florida State loss. I mean, a lot of us kind of curtailed our expectations for LSU, but trust me, ladies and gentlemen, Georgia.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bug. I picked LSU over Alabama a couple weeks ago. Nobody believed me. LSU did it. But this time, I'm telling you, bet on Bug. I'm taking Georgia big time over LSU. And like you said, I might bet the kids and the house on it. Let's go.
Also want to add to this as well. And again, love the bet on Bug favorite. But this is going to be a massacre. This is going to be a gut wrencher. This is going to be a
Thank y'all for coming out.
demolisher, right? We might as well come out playing Atomic Dog in the first quarter.
Okay.
Coming out to start the game.
Oh.
It's going to be a distance.
We're glad to have you out tonight.
12 points, they could have gave you 14. It's going to be bad.
Well, we're going to be out here. Try to every other Tuesday. We're going to try to be out here every other Tuesday. And maybe sometimes on a Thursday. You never know. If they allow us.
He will.
LSU is still a good team, right? They beat Alabama. They beat a bunch of good teams, right?
Right?
Like
Yeah, they gonna have a party up here.
LSU is no
I don't know if Clifton coming on. I
They
don't know if Jay
can
Lady coming
put
on.
up a fight, right? All that, right? They're a good team, right? Jake Daniels, solid. Shout out to
Oh, Lord.
He's pretty good and everything, right?
Be praying for you.
With all that being said,
God bless me.
3,000.
Yeah, Charlie, man, you had me there. One thing I will say, don't take this the wrong way. I definitely think LSU is a good team.
No, I do
I'm
too.
also a believer of, styles make fights. And this LSU team, their strength is, running the ball. Gabe Davis, he likes to take off and run with the ball, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks, all season. And again, I believe it's when you catch teams, again, after losing to probably one of the worst teams I have watched this college football season in Texas A&M. I just don't see it happening. I take Georgia by 25. I take Georgia by 30. I just see Georgia having a all-time performance here, getting ready for the playoffs, and they're going to make a point again. They lost this game a couple years ago, as Bang mentioned, and I just see, go Dogs.
Yeah.
Not so.
I was trying to talk up LSU. I was, struggling. Like, if you could tell, I was struggling to come up with shit to try and explain LSU's case. I was saying I was reaching so hard to try and find something to
say good about LSU because LSU's a good team. Like, I don't want to like sit here and act like they're not.
Crazy, you got something for me, man?
I just want to say one thing. Cliff, LSU, what is their record in the Dome?
I don't know.
That's right, because the Dome's not there anymore. What are we talking about? We're talking about LSU. We're talking Georgia. Give me LSU in the upset by 1. That's right. Week or so. You heard it here first. LSU by 1. Give me them.
Wrong.
Hey, Mr. Wee Corso, tell Mr. Clifton to slow down before he get a ticket out there, man.
Yeah, who booted me?
And my next,
We didn't, Charlie. Just
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought someone booted me over there for a second.
all right, moving along. My next pick in your Bet on Bug segment, we got a rematch. In the AAC, I'm going with UCF and Tulane. Right now, these two teams met previously already. John Reese Plumlee pulled out the win. I think that's going to come back to bite them this week. The Tulane Green Wave will be ready. They'll look golden this week. As much as UCF paint, they'll get on their clothing. But I'm going with Tulane to cover in this game right now. The spread is -3.5 for Tulane. Started off at 2. It's been bet up to 3.5. So I think the country knows something, and I think I know something with them. Tulane, number 18 in the country. I'm going with Tulane Green Wave.
Yeah, Billy, I completely agree with you there. I like if you've watched UCF since they won at Tulane, they've lost at home to Navy, and they really struggle against a bad UCF team. I mean, Southern USF team. And that concerns me a lot. Like, UCF was playing good ball before that, and then they, like, I don't know what happened, but, like, the last 2 weeks they've not been playing good football. And Tulane has, right? They went into Cincinnati and beat Cincinnati. So I think just based on how they've been playing the last 2 weeks since that matchup, Tulane's been a better football team. So I'm going to take the better football team, and I'll take Tulane.
Yeah.
I like the way you think, Charlie.
Great minds.
And Jay, y'all got anything for me in the AAC championship?
give me the Fighting RBJs.
Fighting RPJs. You know what? I know why Charlie. I know why Charlie. I'm gonna interrupt. I'm sorry, Jay. I know why Charlie wants Tulane to win because they're projected to face Tulane in a bowl game. They don't. I don't care either way. Charlie definitely don't want to see UCF in a bowl game. Most definitely Penn State would get blown out by UCF in a bowl game. So that's absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm betting on UCF, and I'm betting on them by 7. I cannot believe you disrespect us.
I also would like bowl game versus Penn State, but that's neither here nor there.
No, look, and I'm not gonna sit here and take that disrespect about my team. All right, we're a fucking good team. We're one of the best 10 teams of the fucking country. All right.
Hey, Charlie, we're a recorded space. We can't be cussing, man.
Okay, don't say that we are going to lose to a team that we're clearly better than. I mean, it can happen, but like I don't understand how I can't.
Hey,
I don't know what I'm thinking about. I can't see it happen.
Yeah, this is a recorded space, man. We can't be doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that. My bad.
Okay, because we're being recorded.
All right, moving right along. Ladies and gentlemen, another big-time matchup in the ACC. Both of these teams are coming off of some disappointing performances, but, you know, that's the good thing about college football. There's always next week, especially when you're in a championship game. We got number 9 Clemson, 10-2 on the season, going up against number 23 North Carolina, 9-3 on the season. Ladies and gentlemen, this game, we're going to see some exciting stuff. DJ made.
We can go back and cancel it.
Been one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, Drake, man. I'm sorry, I got him. DJ made. Who am I thinking
Well,
about?
no, we still got little bit going on.
Has been one of the best quarterbacks this year.
We'll have to figure it out.
35
Because
touchdowns, 5
he's doing
interceptions on the
Clemson.
season.
We're not
almost 4,000 yards passing.
Okay.
But he's going up against Avante Clemson D-line. I know it didn't look like it last week, but I think this group's going to be motivated to go out on top with a win here. Will Shipley in that running game.